Hey everybody, and welcome to AniBreak, the show that breaks down the week's topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and next week is Christmas, so kind of necessary to have some sort of holiday-themed episode, so I changed the lights, threw a hat on, so yeah, Christmas. Alright, cool. Now that that's out of the way, let's get on to some news. No. I remember last year we were talking about a number of different topics regarding Christmas in anime and just Japanese culture. But I'll go over a little bit of again if you guys weren't here with us last year. I still find it hilarious that, well, yes, there's a number of different religions over there in Japan, that Christmas is not really considered like a religious holiday like it is en masse in, in the United States and many other countries. It's the funny thing is that with Christmas, especially Christmas Eve, it's more like a couple's dating night. So the hotels are always booked and there's always major events for couples during this time. And I'm sure there's a number of anime series out there that kind of use the Christmas Eve dating period in a number of episodes, and we'll get to some of those in a moment. But the funniest thing I never get tired of talking about every single year is the Japanese. They have an unnatural fascination with KFC during the holidays. It's the oddest thing is that back in the 70s, when KFC was over in Japan, they started a massive campaign called Kentucky for Christmas. And ever since then, it's been such a huge hit that there are times you can go to a KFC to reserve buckets of chicken for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But in order to reserve these things, sometimes like a month, maybe 2 months in advance, which is kind of crazy considering KFC is KFC. It's chicken. I mean, it again, culture difference because, like I said, it's more of a dating night than anything else. So getting the family together, might as well, instead of getting around a hot roaring fire and relaxing with some hot cocoa, you might as well go around a giant bucket of chicken. It is what it is. There's always a number of crazy commercials that they showcase every single year around this time, and you can find a bunch of them on YouTube. They're always posted up on there. I always loved the bit about the Christmas cakes bit. There's always the story about how Japanese girls they don't want to receive cakes after the 25th. Kind of a play on words. The 25th of December, Christmas, but also the 25th birthday. So you can actually spend an entire episode just on these little quirks here and there. But since we've gone over most of them in the past, I think we just move on forward to just a couple notable Christmas episodes, at least for me. In order to sit down and try to explain every single Christmas-themed episode of almost every single anime, even in just recent years, one, it would be boring. Two, it would just be very, very long because I can't remember. Well, let me phrase that. Out of about 60 different anime over the past year, I would say a good 75% of them have at least some holiday-themed episode within it. Things like, we're going to go back to some old school ones. Like you have the special Christmas episode. I think it was from even the first season of Cardcaptor Sakura, the Sakura's Wonderful Christmas. And of course, going and tying it back in with the whole being the date. That's an episode I remember. Sakura was pining after Yukito, and they ended up going on a date in a amusement park. And of course, things just don't go well. I mean, the amusement park catches fire, but CCS. There was even a Lucky Star themed episode. That was always entertaining. A little somber than Lucky Star. There was the Read or Die TV series. I think it was episode 10. They had a Christmas special, which explained how the three Paper Sisters met up and decided that they were going to become, sisters. That's actually a very touching moment, something you really don't get much nowadays. Not I guess you can also consider Amagami SS. Yes, dating sim, or based on a dating sim. Yes, the story resets itself after 4 episodes. After every 4 episodes, I should say. But considering the main character Junichi was dumped on Christmas Eve, he's always melancholy around the holidays, and of course all the girls, given their each individual time, they always try to cheer him up. So I mean, you guys kind of can call that a Christmas themed series, I guess. I can't even go through more of the series that we talked about before. I mean, there was also a few movies. I mean, you have what was it, the second Tenchi movie, which is Daughter of Darkness. That one had a Christmas theme around it. More recently, you had Tokyo Godfathers. Not necessarily directly a holiday film, but because it took place around the holidays, and the story about trying to take care of a young baby, it kind of flows well with the theme of the time. So you guys have plenty of stuff to watch online. I'm sure there's a number of series you're watching that's going to have some sort of holiday episode within the next few weeks, if they haven't already. You can always go rent your favorite anime or watch it on Crunchyroll or Funimation, and I'm sure you can just enjoy that, because you're probably like me in the sense that you enjoy anime a hell of a lot. Your family, not so much. I mean, that's par for the course. We've all been through that. Those of us, the few of us who have not gone through that, you are very lucky. So there's no end to how much you can actually watch over the holiday season. And of course, there's a number of holiday-themed singles, albums from your favorite anime series. One in particular, the Macross Christmas album. This, let me rephrase that. Most Christmas-themed albums or singles from your favorite anime is easily just a cash grab. It's going to be cute, it's going to be simple, it's going to have a pop soundtrack, and it'll come with a nice little sticker or something. You'll want it just for that. But the Macross Christmas album is something that needs to be treasured, and something that needs to be shared amongst all your friends. Why? It is by far one of the worst albums I have ever heard, regardless of the genre. It's that bad, it's entertaining. For those of you who've never heard of it before, you should go to YouTube. You should do a search for Macross Christmas, and you can either thank me or hate me later. I'm sorry. All right. But it's not just about Christmas for this week. We have a few things we want to talk about. First off, Production IG. We've mentioned before about their new hand-drawn animated feature film, which is called Giovanni's Island. We've showcased a teaser trailer a few weeks back, and they finally released a full trailer. And it's about 2 minutes long, and it gives you a full, more insight into what to expect from this gorgeous movie. Enjoy. So what you basically saw was about two brothers living on the island of Shikotan. This takes place near the end of World War II, and apparently, even though after the war technically ended, this island was still in the midst of a continuing conflict, and the island was invaded by Russian soldiers. The father of the two boys gets lured out by the army and is captured and taken, of all things, to Siberia, and the brothers basically embark on a journey to see their father again. This is probably going to be tugging at your heartstrings like everything else that has similar themes. But you know what? That could be a very good thing. I think it'll be an enjoyable and a really treat to watch when it comes out. Looks like it's going to be released in theaters in Japan in early February, but I have read some bits and pieces online that there is talks of possibly bringing it stateside. So here's hoping for that. But we're going to go from somber and melancholy to something kind of just random and strange. Because this one, I mean, you guys remember Haruhi. Haruhi was awesome back in the day. But Haruhi also had a number of spin-offs. And it looks like we are going to get some more Haruhi down the line. But not exactly what you're looking for. Those of you, people in Japan who actually went to the Haruhi website via Android phones, Haruhi specifically for Android phones, received an image and a certain piece of news. And what this stated was that a new series is in the works. It's an adaptation of the disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan. This is actually an official spin-off manga based on the light novel series. And of course, the adaptation of the light novels is, I believe, is actually still going on. But this spin-off actually takes place in the world of the disappearance arc of the original novels. And it focuses just on the high school life, and yes, the romance, of a tentative and bashful Yuki, quite unlike the one you've come to know and love through the usual exploits of the SOS Brigade. But of course, she's no less charming. So you're thinking, okay, it's Haruhi. It has to be espers, UFOs, crazy stuff, right? The end of the universe if she gets pissed off. Well, not so much. This one's going to focus more on just regular high school lifestyle, but with Yuki in a completely different style that you remember her by. And you're going to see relationships. You're going to see typical slice of life high school anime. But I'm hoping, given the fact that this still takes place within at least one of the Haruhi universes, one of the multiple universes, that there's got to be something crazy that's going to happen. I'm really happy this is actually going to be moving forward. I would always love to see more Haruhi, and who knows, maybe this means we'll get a continuation of the anime series, because the anime series only covered like 3 of the 10 light novels, and I've read all 10. Or, sorry, I read the first 9. I haven't read the 10th one yet. So, looks like fun. Could be great. Okay. I know I was bashing on Macross earlier. I mean, the Macross Christmas album, so bad, it's had to be good. But we do have some really good news, though, for Macross fans. This is fantastic news. You remember a few weeks ago where I was teasing you, along with myself, the updated high-res Blu-ray box set for the Macross Frontier series that, unfortunately, it looks like we'll never get here in the States. Well, that box set didn't include the movies, so obviously there's going to be a movie box set. And here's the first images of it. It has some really cool stuff in it. Here's where it gets kind of crazy. We have both movies available in this. That's the first 2 DVDs. There's a bunch of extended footage for each of the films that's going to be released on these Blu-rays. There's also going to be a third disc on there that's called the Project F Ultimate Hybrid Disc, which apparently claims never before released material. Things like the Macross Frontier movie special playview, the video Historia. We're talking content that's over 3.5 hours long. You even have Instructor Cheryl's 30th anniversary movie documentary. But here's the great thing about all of this. This is the 2 Macross Frontier movies and over 3 hours of extras. This is going to be released in Japan. Guess what? This is going to have English subtitles. So yes, you can import this and actually watch it and understand it to your heart's content. You probably have some form of actually watching Macross Frontier. Now's the time to go check out for the movies. This is going to be a little on the pricey side though, but a lot of content given what the price is. The Blu-ray disc version of this box set will cost approximately 16,800 yen, just a little shy of $170 US. If you want the DVD version, you're looking at about $150 US. And looks like Namco Bandai Games is going to release the boxes through game retailers, which means there's going to be an ability to import this. I am looking forward to this. I cannot wait for this one to come out. We do have a bit of a wait, though, because this isn't going to be released until May 15th, 2014. Have some time to wait for it, But it's great to know that it's on its way out. That's what I'm looking forward to. Coming back to the States, we have some news about the upcoming The Wind Rises English dub by Disney. We kind of know this was going to come because of Disney's involvement with Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. Disney has finally released the cast list for the English dub, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Who they have so far. They're on a massive gamut. I mean, Werner Herzog is going to play a character. You have William H. Macy playing Satomi, which is Nahoko's father. You have Jennifer Grey playing Mrs. Kurokawa. Mae Whitman, Elijah Wood, Ronan Farrow. Who else we have? Stanley Tucci, of all people, is going to voice a character. You also have Martin Short, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, and this entire cast is led by Jiro Horikoshi. That's the main character, voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think that's going to be amazing. I think he'll do a fantastic job. And Gordon-Levitt's already won numerous interviews and stated that he actually has been watching and loving the Miyazaki films for a while. So you already have that. He's probably going to bring a fantastic bit to the role. I'm looking forward to see where this one's going to go. Disney has already made the announcement that they're going to theatrically release The Wind Rises in the United States. So it's now just a matter of time before we actually see this, and I'm kind of looking forward to the English dub. Well, there's English dub, and then there's Japanese dub. And you most likely, if you're watching the simulcast, you're going to get the Japanese dub, whether you like it or not. Yes, I know there are a few of you who prefer the English over Japanese, and that's fine. But let's face it, you're kind of in the minority here on that one. And so for the majority of all your anime, you're going to Crunchyroll. Legally, you're going to Crunchyroll. You're going to Anime Network. You're going to Viz for a few things here and there. But there's actually a newcomer now. We've talked about Daisuke and kind of how that failed. We've seen how several companies are actually now releasing their anime on YouTube, complete with English subtitles. But there is one company who has anime in their... they do offer anime, but they've never done a simulcast title. Until now, and we're talking about Netflix. Netflix make the announcement last week that they are going to stream the adaptation of Knights of Sidonia, and in all Netflix territories. So not just the United States, but all over the freaking world. Looks like they are doing what they are streaming it firstly and exclusively. Essentially, yes, they are doing a simulcast. The best thing about this for you fans out there is that both the simulcast itself will be streamed both in Japanese and English. I'm talking about Japanese audio and English audio. If you prefer the Japanese audio, yes, you will have English subtitles, but it'll also be dubbed in the local language. So English being one of them, probably Spanish and a few others. This is kind of a massive undertaking for Netflix. I'm really proud to hear this. I'm really happy for this. Does this mean that we're going to start seeing different titles show up in multiple different dubs in some of the other streaming channels? Actually, yes. You're going to start seeing that more often. Case in point, Crunchyroll recently made the announcement they are going to be showcasing the Rurouni Kenshin anime. Available, it's actually, I think, starts now. You can watch like the first 50 episodes in English, which in Japanese with English subtitles, but they're also slowly but surely going to be releasing the English dub. Currently, episodes 1 through 4 are available in English dub. So, kind of interesting that this announcement comes shortly thereafter the massive cash influx that they received from the Churning Group. But you know what? More anime for everyone is better for the industry, anyways. I'm looking forward to what they do. Side note real quick, we talked a couple times actually about Eva 3.33, the third of upcoming 4 movies. And Funimation already made the announcement that they're going to do theatrical distribution of 3.0, and then 3.33, the Blu-ray DVD release, will appear sometime in February or March. Not going to be the case anymore. Funimation claims that due to an overwhelming demand for the theatrical release of Eva 3.0, which hasn't even started yet in these theaters, not going to happen until January, they're going to push back the release of the Blu-ray DVD box set, which kind of sucks. I mean, yes, okay, it's cool that they're going to be expanding the theatrical release to more theaters and for longer periods of time. Yes, that's cool. But wouldn't you want to get in on that hype of, okay, cool, you can go see it in theaters for this limited time of like 2 months, and then right afterwards, boom, Blu-ray DVD release. You're going to get a lot of money that way. Now they say it's tentatively scheduled for sometime in 2014. Kinda sucks. I was looking forward to actually checking out 3.33. Well, I'm going to see it in theaters, but I also wanted to get it in my hands for a physical copy, sooner rather than later. Looks like I have to wait for later. Oh well. Okay. I do have to make a note of this about yeah, from Aniplex of America. We've kind of talked about how the third movie, Rebellion, there's actually a box set just for that movie that's actually going to be kind of crazy expensive if you wanted to purchase it. And of course, you have to import it. It's going to be really, really pricey. Aniplex America, well, you know what? We don't want you guys to just import it. We want you to buy it from us. So that gigantic box set for just one movie that we've talked about before, including all the movie, the program guides, a Cubase cell phone stand, a Charlotte cell phone stand, canvas art, a bandana, cell phone strap, pile-up figures, a bunch of crazy stuff. Oh, and there's also the movie in there somewhere. You can't see it in that image. This is the one that comes from Japan. Aniplex is bringing it stateside. And if you want to buy it for a limited time offer, you can do so. But you better have deep pockets, because just for this one movie alone and all this extra stuff, this is $200. You're going to have to spend $200 to get a single movie. There's no word yet if and when Aniplex America is going to release like either a trilogy box set or even the third movie by itself, but I'm hoping that's going to be an inevitability. It's just going to take some time. Kind of wish it was already going to come out in a regular edition, because I can't afford $200 for a single Blu-ray and a bunch of figures or a bunch of extra stuff, but some people will. Okay, I have to bring this up for video games, because the latest Nintendo Direct, this is like their mini presentations they're doing like once every couple of weeks throughout the year, and in order to keep their fans, all the gamers, happy about what's going to come in the future. They decided to release a bunch of new information, but we're only going to talk about one. The one that just looks so random. I'm just going to play it. Yeah, that your eyes do not deceive you. That is not a mod. That is not something you can create and throw together on your PC. No, that is a 100% legitimate game being produced and associated with Nintendo over at Tecmo Koei. Tentatively called Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, so take Legend of Zelda, all your favorite characters, and they're going to throw them in a Dynasty Warriors style game. Yeah. Okay. I mean, let's see, Tecmo Koei, all they pretty much do is Dynasty Warriors. Now they just threw a Zelda skin on it. I'm wondering, though, because you're surrounded by all these enemies, couldn't you just like throw a single chicken out there, let them beat that, and then have the swarm of chickens destroy all your enemies? I think that would be the easiest way to get through the entire game. But yes, this is an official game. It's in the works from Nintendo and Tecmo Koei. It's due out on the Nintendo Wii U in 2014, and that's all we have. But it was just one of those things I watch it and go, really? Okay, yeah, sure. People will buy it. You know they will. Okay, before we get to some of the New Year's stuff, there is one little thing we have to talk about that still has to deal with Christmas. Somewhat. It is a Kickstarter, and I keep on telling you guys about these Kickstarters because, one, they're awesome, and two, I want you to spend all your money. Because I can't. It is what it is. This is for a new project called Santa Company, and I'll let the video explain what it's about. So yeah, that is a Kickstarter for a new project called Santa Company, and you were listening to excuse me, Kenji Itoso, who's worked on Satoshi Kon, worked on Hayao Miyazaki, and this is something he's been wanting to work on for over 12 years, and it actually looks kind of cool. How to explain that? What does instead of your typical Santa and his elves, it basically became like an entire like company and franchise that has different divisions and departments. And how do you actually work with them, and actually how do they work throughout the year? And I think it's actually a really cool idea. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Their Kickstarter project is actually only asking for a modest $50,000. I mean, you guys remember how freaking huge Little Witch Academia blew up on Kickstarter after, just showcasing a little bit of footage. This one I think will do just as well, hopefully a little better. They do have 14 days left to go, and you have your range of requests for in terms of pledges, and they're actually pretty decent. Like if you only want to spend, say, $10, you will actually, once it's complete, you would receive a link to watch the completed version, albeit in only 480p. But for $10, you can actually watch the completed movie. And it goes higher than that. You can get, on DVD or Blu-ray. You can get, if you pay $35, you get a download link for the 1080p download, and that'll work well. If you actually want a physical DVD or Blu-ray release, you're only paying $59. I think it's a really, really good way to back this. Really, it's a decent price too. So, like I stated, they're asking for $50,000. They have 14 days left to go. They're currently at $46,172. I kind of have a feeling they're gonna make their goal. There's a number of extra bonus pledges you can go for, all the way up to $10,000 or more. And that one, and someone's already backed it at this rate, you receive an invitation to come to Japan and have a dinner with the executive director, and it also includes 2 nights accommodation. Granted, your travel arrangements are not included. You also get to edit the shooting of your Japan trip, and they'll present that to you as a gift, and also, of course, everything else underneath it. Kind of a cool bit, and actually even more so that someone actually already paid $10,000. That's kind of crazy. So if you guys want to back this and get more information, head over to Kickstarter.com and do a search for Santa Company. And I really hope you guys back this, because I think it's a really cool idea. Okay. A couple final bits we want to talk about. One is how to ring in the new year. Because we know that it's nice this time of year that you have 2 major holidays, in some cases 3 major holidays, in the span of like 2.5 weeks, which can, one, make people very broke. But you can still have a lot of fun during this time frame. So one of the best things about New Year's Eve is you get to toast the new year with some champagne and hang out with your friends and have a great time. But you know what? If you're one of those die-hard otaku that want to make every single holiday event become something special to their inner otaku-ness, there is a certain drink that I think some of you guys will want to purchase. And it's actually by a retailer named Rakuten. We've talked about them before. They've recently were selling the Bodacious Space Pirates branded potato alcohol that I really want to import, but I can't find it anywhere else, but only Rakuten has it. And I think Rakuten's going to be the same place for these. This is special edition bottles of Evangelion champagne. These are bottles of Cuvée Brut champagne. These are actually bottled in France. But if you look closely, each of these bottles is not just a sticker, but etched. Full-on etched illustrations of either Rei, Kaoru, I always mess up, Kaoru, and Asuka. There's also, somewhere in the engraving, you can see it in little pieces here and there, also includes a single Swarovski crystal. And not to mention, it also comes with a nice special Evangelion charm, and just because they can, its own double door display case. I want this. I totally want this. This looks amazing. It's just the sheer detail is incredible as all hell. Let me see if we get a little zoomed up close up shot of that, because let me give you this one right here. Oop, there we go. It's a little closer shot. I mean, like full on etched in there, really nicely detailed drawing. It looks amazing. Okay, now here's the bad part. One, Rakuten does not ship internationally, so you need to find a proxy and to buy this and then ship it to you. Second, these are full bottles of champagne, 750 milliliters. Because of the amount of detail in the bottle, and because it's a collectible. Yes, champagne is a collectible. I had to double check on that one. It is actually pretty pricey. Each of these bottles are going for 31,500 yen, equivalent of a little over $300. So if you look at this, you have to pay $300 for the champagne. You'll have to pay a percentage for a proxy somewhere for someone in Japan to buy it for you, and then you have to pay for the shipping cost to bring it over. You're probably going to spend well over $400 for this bottle. And I know there's at least one or two of you out there who will buy this. If you do so, please let me know. I would love to share in your hospitality. Let's call it that. Yeah, that thing is kind of amazing. Okay, before we wrap this up, as another reminder, we will not have an episode next week because next Wednesday is December 25th, Christmas. And whether you celebrate or not, or whether I celebrate or not, I'm going to take a week off to relax and hang out with family and friends. So I hope you guys do the same. But we're already going to plan for next year, which we can say that because in 2 weeks it's going to be Wednesday, January 1st. Now, for those of you who will probably be watching us that night, that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I hope my hangover will be gone by then. But we're going to do something a little fun for that episode that requires your help, your assistance, because you're going to help us with the list. And, a lot of people like to do these lists of the best and worst of the year. But you know what? I have my ideas of what the best and the worst of the year are. I want to know what you guys think the best and the worst of the year are. And which could be anime, could be manga, could be video games. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. And we've made it very, very simple for you guys to participate. All you need to do is go on to Facebook or Twitter. You do not need to copy me. That you can if you want. You're more than welcome to. But use the hashtag either OtakuLifeBest or OtakuLifeWorst. And just say, what is, what you think is the best anime or the worst video game or anything you would think of that could be either the best or worst of the entire year of 2013. Post it on there. I will be grabbing the lists that I can find online a couple days before the first, getting those together, and I will add those to my list so you guys can help us out with that. Now, if you decide to post a little more about it and actually directly link to me, want to give an explanation of why you think this thing is the worst piece of crap that ever happened in the past 365 days, I may even actually just throw that into the episode itself. So it's all up to you guys. I mean, I have my list, but I want to know what you guys think, what you guys have thoughts about the best and worst. I know someone's going to probably try to troll this, and you know what? That's just part of the fun. So please go ahead and have fun with this. Sega fan, what about OtakuLife meh? Well, we're going to stick with best and worst. We may do like a meh thing later on. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Yep, I know Watamote is going to be in there somewhere, good or bad. Some people can't even stand it after a single episode. Other people, like myself, could not wait to watch. We had to watch more. And yes, there is going to be an OVA, but I doubt it's going to make its way stateside. So, sad. So, yes, OtakuLife best, OtakuLife worst. Use the hashtags, and let you and your friends know online what you think. And your responses may show up in the first episode of AniBreak for the year 2014. We've gone through a lot tonight. We've gone about Christmas. We've gone about New Year's, some really cool champagne, really cool Kickstarter, and some ideas for the new year. So I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's always a blast. I want to thank you guys. I mean, this is episode 78. We've been doing this for well over a year, almost 2 full years. And I want to thank you guys so much, because without you, there'd be no reason to do this show. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I'm glad you guys continue to keep on watching. Invite your friends next time. It's always a pleasure. But yeah, stay tuned for post show. Hope you guys have a great holiday season. You got your Christmas, you got your New Year's, all of the great stuff in between. Hope you guys have some really cool stuff, and we'll all talk about it online and on next episode of AniBreak, which will be in 2014. For AniBreak, I'm Jason. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.